Hi everyone! In this mini-series, you're going to be learning the fundamentals of functional programming with TypeScript. So, first of all, what is functional programming? Well, according to Wikipedia, over here the main takeaways are that it is a programming paradigm and the main building blocks of it are functions, just like the main building blocks of object-oriented programming are objects. So, let's look at a couple of other very popular programming paradigms. We've got procedural programming, which is very straightforward and it is very easy for beginners to learn. And also another very popular one is object-oriented programming. And over here you can see a piece of object-oriented TypeScript. And you can generally see a lot of classes, private and public, keywords, and all that jazz. So, why bother learning functional programming? Well, if you do it correctly, you're going to have very clean code, and it's going to be very short and snappy compared to other programming paradigms, and you can prevent a lot of bugs. And I'm going to explain why this happens later in the series. So let's start up with the setup. First of all, I'm going to be using TypeScript. If you want to use JavaScript instead, feel free to do so. But if you want to follow along exactly as I do and use TypeScript, then you'll have to install that. So for that you need to have the Node package manager, which comes with Node.js. And also I'm going to be using Atom as my text editor, so you can have that as well, or you can use whatever you want to use. So we're going to start off by opening up our root folder over here. And we're going to create a new file called index.html. This is because we're going to run our code in the browser. And then I'm going to be using Emmet to create a boilerplate. And I'll create a script tag with a source to main.js. Then I will create a new file in our root directory called main.ts. In here we're going to be writing all of our code. Now we have to actually compile this TypeScript code to JavaScript code, to main.js, so our index.html can read it. And ideally we would compile it every single time when we make a change. So in order to compile it, we need to have a TypeScript installed. You do that with the Node package manager. So make sure you've got the npm installed. You can do that by doing npm-v. And if you've got a version number, you've got npm. Then write npm I for install, g for globally, so -g, and then TypeScript. Alright, I've already done that. And then what you want to do is write tsc for TypeScript compiler, -w, so we're compiling every time when we save this main.ts, and then the path to the file we want to compile. Alright, so tsc-w main.ts. And when you hit enter, you will get this. Alright, so as you can see, we'll get a new file called main.js. I can minimize this terminal now. And over here is going to be the compiled code. By the way, I've been using the built-in terminal using a package with Atom. So if you want to use another terminal or just the standard terminal, you can do that as well. Alright? So what I'm going to write is console.log hello world, just to see if our setup works. And the minute I compile it, it should also be in the JavaScript file. It is, so that's perfect. And in order to view it, I'm going to be using a package called Atom Live Server. So you can install that as well. So this one has got almost 1 million downloads. And if you're using Visual Studio Code, it also has got a live server. Alright? And then if you start this live server, you should get this. So if you look at the console over here, it should say hello world. Alright, and if we remove the world, for example, just to make a change, it should be there pretty much instantly. Alright, so perfect. In the next video we are going to start writing our first lines of functional code. So I'll see you then. Bye!